Alright, hello and welcome to the first Blizzcon video, and, well, I think some of you guys like World of Warcraft. I like World of Warcraft, and goddamn they gave us World of Warcraft. This is all quite fantastic. So first of all, Chris Metzen appeared on the stage in the opening ceremony, and, well, he did slightly forget one or two lines, even saying, "Geek is forgetting your lines." Oh, poor guy, sucks when that happens, but he handled it like a complete boss. He talked about the RTSs and how they are where it all comes from. And, as always, when the Warcries were called the Horde, shouted harder than the Alliance. Alliance people at BlizzCon, you're letting me down. Anyway, so they said that a lot of the WoW player base had never engaged in the whole adventure of the RTSs, and how the RTS storylines is really where the modern game comes from. This is definitely true, and ultimately the modern story begins about 30 years ago with some silly old guffin opening the Dark Portal, and he started naming a series of orc warlords, which honestly, with me watching live, I thought, oh yeah, Warlords of Draenor. So we talked a lot about the Alliance in specific, which was interesting to me, perhaps hinting at how they're going to shift a tiny bit more to the Alliance since the last two expansions have been quite Horde heavy. So they said, what if those dark days could come again? What if a pantheon of the most vicious enemies could come again? The conflict to come will be the Alliance's finest hour. That sounds quite snazzy. They also talked about the Horde, saying that they have had a, well, pretty shitty time with Grosh's Reign of Terror, and that what happens is going to be a new start for the Horde. Then we got the final confirmation, or the big confirmation of Warlords of Draenor. It is the next World of Warcraft expansion. As always, they showed a sort of in-game style trailer thingy. Overall, it was very cool. It seemed to be narrated by one of the orc war chiefs, one of the old, war chiefs of the old orcs from Draenor. It's I'm just going to say it's nearly definitely time travel. The Prophet Velen was in it quite a bit. He was in the quote at the start, and then his character showed up later on, which is rather interesting. They showed a lot of the old orcs essentially banding together, and all of the different clans uniting and forming these giant armies. I'm not too sure if there's demon magic involved, I couldn't really see, but they were marching with massive armies, and there was also Gron in their armies, and overall they actually looked really damn impressive. So yeah, on the trailer, when they listed new features, they said the new world of Draenor. It says Draenor, so that essentially is just going to mean Draenor itself, probably old Draenor before everything went to shit with Gul'dan opening the portals. And they also had this really awesome thing, and it just said on the screen, build and upgrade your garrison. And then in the background they showed what looked to be an Alliance base. And it seems like you can build, like the players themselves can build and upgrade this garrison. And I don't know if this is a faction by faction thing, or if this is a phase thing for players, or if this is, well, if it is a phase thing for players, then it's essentially player housing, but ginormous, which I think would be pretty cool as well. So this could be player housing, this could be tied in with like PvP and like a faction by faction giant garrison thing. I think that's pretty damn cool as well. It could be a guild thing, so each guild has its own garrison. I think that would just be amazing. As for what sort of gameplay they're going to put in these, I'm not really sure, but they'll definitely have a way, I'm sure of it. Next, they had new models, and goddamn, these look great. Grosh was definitely something to go by when you looked at his model. They showed the new orc and they showed the new dwarf. Both of them, in my opinion, looked fantastic. And what I was really happy about is how they managed to keep the characters the same in essence, but make them look higher fidelity. And it really did look quite fantastic. So, yeah, great stuff there. They also set a new level cap of 100. This is absolutely what I expected personally. What this means is we're going to have more and more and more leveling up zones and that kind of thing in the expansion. But don't worry, there won't be too much leveling because of something I'm going to mention in a bit. So yes, hopefully multiple zones, and the reason this is good is that it gives you much more variation. So if you're leveling up alts or something like that, then you have more different paths to go through it. Take the example of Northrend, where you had multiple paths to get to max level. That was great. In Mists of Pandaria, not so much. Really, there was only one or two different zones that were like a variation. I think that wore down a lot of people, so I'm very glad they fixed up that. They also said new dungeons and raids, absolutely to be expected. Another great thing they said is World PvP Zone. So, a lot of you from Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm know the PvP zones of Tolbrad and Wintergrasp. Personally, I think Tolbrad was shit, and I think Blizzard know why it was terrible, and they won't repeat that mistake. And I think they know fundamentally what made Wintergrasp such a compelling thing. It was a siege, and in a siege, it's something that's very, I suppose, just very easy for people to get it, if you know what I mean. You defend your castle, the other people try to kill your castle. Makes sense. So hopefully it's a sort of siege deal. That would be ideal to me, because I think it works quite well with World PvP. At the end of the day, if World PvP is a capture point based thing, then it just turns into giant mindless zergs running around in circles, which is no fun. And finally, we have another big feature here. Boost to level 90 and play immediately is what they said on the screen. Now, I would very much... I don't think this is just... well, I don't think this is, like, on a new account, you just get an instant level 90 and have no idea what to play. That would be dumb as hell. I'd say this is probably more the sort of thing where... if you already have a max level character, you can boost an alt to level 90. That's what I would imagine. Now, things about this which are good. More max level characters in the game, that makes a more vibrant economy, it makes it easier for different class roles to be filled out. Like, what if you always wanted to try tanking, but you can never be bothered to put in all the time to level up a new character? Well, this is a solution for you. Now, in terms of the slight drawbacks for this, well, if you're an alter, if you really enjoy that leveling experience, perhaps this is going to detract from that a little bit. I'd imagine the old world zones will not be as populated, however, if they do a good job with cross-realm zones and stuff like that, it will make the populations feel a little bit more palatable. But still, while I know a lot of people are going to have issues with this on a personal level, I think that overall this is a good change for the game. When people I know have tried to play WoW, they come in, they think, oh my god, to get to where the new, interesting, and relevant content is, I have to play for multiple days. And remember, us players that are experienced, we can level up quickly, but new people, they just can't, they don't know where to go, they need to learn shit. So yeah, this is just a summary of what went on at the opening ceremony for World of Warcraft. Now, in terms of other things today, there's about 2 more panels, which I will be covering and will have videos on. I'm not too sure how this is going to be edited together. Most likely there'll just be some old Draenor footage or Outland footage in the background, and I'll put in whatever screenshots or stuff like that I can. We'll find out. But anyway, that's it for this video. Stay tuned to the channel for all of the up-to-date BlizzCon commentary. I plan to get everything out the door as quickly as I can. So with that, please like if you like and subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you all next time.